If you're looking for B2B sales management training, you've come to the right place. Hi everyone, my name is Ian Swanston from Closers, and I want to give you a brief insight into how to assess and benchmark the different sales functions inside your organisation, and then I'm going to give you a brief overview of our sales management training course. While no two businesses are the same, we've discovered over the years there is some commonality in what we call the functions. From an organisational standpoint, these are the 7 essential ingredients that combined form a great sales unit. While these functions are common, the way they are configured can be very different in every organisation. When you assess these functions in your organisation, it's important to understand that none of the functions will be perfect, because they never are, and the purpose of the assessment is simply to benchmark where you are so you then know where to focus your efforts to make sales improvements. The reality is that when you undertake an assessment of your sales unit, you would never score 10 out of 10 in every area, but equally you wouldn't be scoring 1 out of 10 for everything. In nearly every business there will be some areas where you are 1 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 7 out of 10, even 9 out of 10. The way to grow sales is by a series of small improvements that together add up to a big improvement. There is no magic wand, and there's no pixie dust that we can sprinkle that transforms your sales organisation overnight. But with planning, persistence and patience, you can make a number of small improvements that add up to big changes. This isn't revolutionary. If you take the automobile market, for example, a certain Japanese car maker recognised that years ago fuel consumption was increasingly becoming important when people chose new cars. The biggest influence on a car's fuel consumption is the overall weight of the car, so they implemented what they called gram theory. You see, every car is made up of around 30,000 individual parts. If they could shave 1 gram off each mirror, they could shave 2 grams off the weight of the car. If they could shave 1 gram off every wheel, they saved 4 grams, and on and on. Gram theory later became known as the theory of marginal gains that is best known in sport. The Sky cycling team, who dominated the Tour de France for many years, used the gram theory not only to improve their bikes, but they made small changes like transferring each rider's bedding with them throughout the tour, knowing that the same bedding that the riders were each accustomed to would help them sleep better and then be more refreshed for the next day's race. Sales improvement is a series of small improvements over a period of time, not a magic wand. What's also important is that you recognise, just like the sales formula, each of these areas which are common to organisations equally apply to every salesperson. That's not easy because most salespeople either don't know or follow any form of strategy to grow the portfolio. It's difficult to be a leader when you're working 60 hours a week. If you're new into a sales management role or simply trying to revive a tired sales team, I would suggest that you simply go through the 7 different areas and score them on a basis of 1 out of 10. 1 being poor, 10 being exceptional. It's not scientific, but it will, however, give you a good idea of where you need to focus your energies to make any form of sales improvement. Here are the core sales management modules that we teach in our sales management training course, and each session runs for 90 minutes. There's 4 sessions in a day, and there's breaks obviously in the morning, lunch and afternoon. Session 1 focuses on finding and hiring, and if you've been in sales management long enough, I'm sure you've come across the scenario where you've hired Tom Cruise in the sales interview, only for Tom to magically transform into Norman Wisdom 3 months later, and there's no foolproof way to stop that. However, there are certain processes and things that we can put in place to try and make sure that we are hiring the best people possible. Next up is management and leadership, and sales management is a very tough job. Salespeople can be very overly critical, I would say, sometimes of their managers, and they are difficult to motivate in certain scenarios. So leadership and management is a huge ongoing problem for a lot of companies. Sales process, having the ability to optimize your design, looking for areas where you can improve conversion ratios, looking for areas where you can create hack, for want of a better word, create hacks, is really worth learning. And session 4 is coaching sales winners. We're a massive fan of sales coaching. It delivers lots of benefits to the salespeople and the organisation, and we couldn't recommend coaching enough. Next up is strategies. Strategies are really important because they can really make a difference in your organisation. Planning, making sure that we're delivering the correct planning and the numbers and reports that are necessary for the board to make the decisions that they need to do. Benchmarking, which we've really touched on in a very light fashion earlier in this video. And lastly, once you've done that benchmarking, it's about creating really powerful improvement plans, and we've spent a lot of time working out how to incorporate things like change management, for example, for sales management, which makes facilitating those changes much more amenable for your teams. We're also big fans of using templates and tools to standardize where possible. So we've got lots of management templates and sales templates that we include in the training. And also we can share with you examples of where we've created sales playbooks in Microsoft OneNote, and we are using those inside Microsoft Teams to in effect create what we would describe as an LMS for sales management. That's it. If you're interested in sales management training and would like practical and actionable support, then leave a comment below. We'd love to talk to you. Please like, share, subscribe, and happy selling.